It's time for the Ella Johnson Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show, where there are two sides to every story. Enjoy the broadcast. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ella Johnson Show. Listen, I am so excited. It's been a long week. I hope you guys are having a great week, but I want to welcome you to the Ella Johnson Show. It's Thursday night, and I know that you guys were waiting to see Barbarietta, Dr. Pugh. We were definitely getting excited about this broadcast tonight because we had a lot of information to bring to you. Unfortunately, she has some technical difficulties that are beyond our control, so she's not going to be able to be here. But we still wanted to bring a show to you tonight because that is what we do here at the Ella Johnson Show. We bring stories, right, Stephen? And who better to reach out to at the last minute? Say, hey, listen, we're going to have to pivot tonight. We got to go ahead and talk about tea because, listen, tonight is about Monroe County Uncovered. So we could talk about a myriad of subjects, to be honest with you, because we have a lot of different things going on. We got Jerry Nettles going on. We got the school board. Then we have T. Tunstall. So tonight we're just going to kind of gumbo it a little bit because
we shook it in John.
Yeah, we had to bring it together like this, you know. So I just want you guys, just stay tuned. We're not done with Barbaretta's story, but we're definitely going to have to do something else to make sure that we can have the internet and, those kind of things. I mean, these kinds of things happen.
Especially around Monroe.
Especially in Monroe. That's what I know. I'm talking to people a lot of times there and their phones go down, or if it's not the phone, it's the internet. So
if you're in the rural side, if you're anywhere away from the downtown area or the main center drags or MediaCom is on, you're stuck with Frontier. And I think everybody here in this audience has a deep-seated hatred for Frontier. We don't like Frontier.
I hear a lot of people get frustrated. I see them say a lot of comments on Facebook sometimes about the internet and how it's just not reliable. Thank God for Orlando. Mine is reliable. Whatever side of town you're on, it's reliable.
I have fiber optic directly into my living room.
I think I'm just going to have to start sending everybody to their house when we have to do a show because it seems like you're the only one with reliable internet in Monroe.
Bring your own beer.
So listen, guys, I want to talk about something because tonight we were going to talk about the school board anyway. But at the end of the last broadcast that I had with Barbarietta, we were talking about there was an incident that happened at the elementary school. I don't know if you remember that show, Stephen, where we talked about with the kids' hand in the toilet. Yeah, I want to talk about that because, guys, tonight, Monroe County Uncovered is about uncovering things that happen in Monroe County. See how we roll that back? Things that are happening in Monroe County, you're not going to find in the Monroe Journal. You know that because I don't know how many stories I've sent them and they won't put them in the journal.
I mean, I got a few myself.
Right? So
I
want to make sure that you guys understand because just as much as we come here to talk about things, we want to be fair in the reporting how things happen. And whenever something happens and it happens in a good way, we have to report that as well. So how that story was, it came to me. I'm not going to mention names. I don't want to mention names. I don't want to talk about who reached out. I don't want to talk about the people involved because it's not important. What is important is to know that you have a county that when you have issues, you have rights to complain. And Monroe County, you should not, keep them from coming to complain because if they don't come to you, they're going to come to me. And if they come to me and then I have to come to you, then it gets on my show. So if we want to make sure that it doesn't come to the Ella Johnson Show, and we need to uncover it, handle it. I don't know how the best way to say that. Handle it. So I want to talk about it because she came to me and she said, Miss Ella, I need your assistance because I've been trying to get an answer on this situation. Now, let me roll back what it is that she said to me. What she said to me and explained to me is that her son, who I think he's 6 years old. I have to go back and look at my notes, but I think he's 6 years
Second
old.
grade, first grade.
Yeah. And apparently there were some kids playing around in the restroom and the toilet got stopped up. Something that either tissue or something went in the toilet, stopped it up. Now, no one was in there but kids. Now, from what I understand, there was a teacher that took these kids to the bathroom, but they didn't go inside. So they kind of let the janitor or whomever does the cleaning there know, hey, listen, this child, this is the child that did it. So they went and said, okay, well, we're going to bring him into the bathroom and make him get it out. Okay. I know. I see the look on your face. That's exactly the look I had as well.
Do what?
Yeah.
I missed that one. I'm sorry. You can't do that.
Let's roll it back. James says, good evening, Ella. We have our own case now from the Mississippi Gulf Coast, Nolan Wells, but not like Monroe. It's all over the news and internet. I wish that case had national coverage. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And whatever you can do to help make it national, please. Let's do that as well. So anyway, so you heard right, Stephen. It was okay, but this is what I understand that they did. They put a bag around the child's hand so he's not in direct contact with the toilet or the water or whatever may have been in there that he's pulling up. Well, nonetheless, he didn't get it.
Now I understand what one of my friends was telling me about that, because the phone was breaking up and I was driving and I it was in and out, but now I can hear it clearly.
Okay. So you heard right. So let's just stop right there. The fact that this based on the story. Now nobody is here to share their side. Let me say that as a disclaimer. Right. I just wanted to bring it out because it had a good ending, you know, with where the board actually got involved. So anyway, the child wasn't able to get it, so they ended up getting it anyway. Well, the parent found out. The child went home, told his mom. According to her, he was crying, upset, and he told his mother what happened at school. So she naturally calls up to the school and says, "I'm coming to talk to y'all." I would too. Yeah, I definitely would have done that. But anyway, so by the time she gets to the school, the principal had already talked to the child. Okay. The principal had already talked to the child. Now, there's some things in this story that were disturbing to me. Allegedly, this because I wasn't there to hear it.
My squint eyes are activated.
Huh?
I said my squinty eyes are activated.
That the teacher allegedly mocked the child. Okay, this is something that was said to me, that the teacher allegedly mocked the child because he has a stutter, something like that. Now that is alleged. I did not speak to anyone about this, but this is coming from the parent, right? Well, to make a long story short, there was some going back and forth. The mom felt like there should be something that happens here. Like, we can't do this. You can't treat children this way. That is not their job to do these kinds of things. That is the job of the people that are hired to do that. So there was some going back and forth.
I have a question. Was it like was it a toy? Was it like purposeful? Was it an accident? I mean, keep in mind, they're kids. They're just playing with things. I mean, what was the? Do we know? It could have been
purposeful. It could have been purposeful.
Well, even if my point is that it wouldn't matter if it was. So that's where I'm getting at. Because even I'm going to just throw it out there. Let's just say the kid shoves something in the toilet. All right, kids are kids. All right, that's, you make the kid. Look, when I got in trouble at school, we got a paper and you wrote 100 or 1,000 times, "I will not shove things in the toilet. I will not interrupt in class,"
Oh, yeah.
You got.
I will not talk in class. That was mine.
I got, maybe an after school, we have to do after school suspension, sit there for a couple hours in the bad boys class, or, whatever. Making the kid go reach his hand in the toilet and then mock the kid at the same time. That's not the way you handle that. I mean, at all. That's not
So
a
do you think it matters that they put the bag over his hand?
no, not at all. I mean, just the fact that that's why you have a janitor there. All right, the kid goes to the principal's office. What happened? What'd you do, little Timmy? Oh, I stuck the dinosaur down in the toilet. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Well, you're not supposed to do that, and we're gonna have you sit after school, and write a little thing. Maybe a half-day suspension. Get your parents. Your parents are gonna, decide how they're gonna discipline you because you did something wrong. Making a kid shove his hand down the toilet to retrieve the item, all right, bad or not, is really faux pas.
I thought that was 1,000. The reason I took this and actively got involved because I thought that was absurd.
I mean, that's absurd. It's unsanitary. That's completely the wrong way to handle that.
It's not their job.
No.
It's not your job to try to teach the child a lesson. And then what I understand, allegedly, is that the reasoning behind it was lesson learned, not as a punishment to him, but a lesson learned for this child. So I'm like, okay, first of all, that
was the wrong way to learn a lesson.
Yeah, you're there to educate, and there are laws that are governed by the state of Alabama about certain things that you're subjecting children to. And I think that what we got to do in Monroe, not just with police, but it seems like we need to educate people about stuff like this because that could have been so worse. What if he had gotten sick?
Yeah, I was just going to nail that point. I mean, sure, the kid, they were already playing around the toilet too, but to continue to further make the kid shove his hand out into a dirty, nasty public toilet. Bad or not, I don't give a shit.
He's done it before. Just being fair on the school side, he's done it before. But then that's where your
how do they try
come in.
Well, still, but the disciplinary faction of that is, I still personally, I don't think that's the way that you should try to discipline a child. I mean, at all.
And James himself says, if this is true, someone should be held accountable. This is what I'm saying, James, and that's why I said
we don't have any oversight anywhere.
Yeah. Why isn't anyone talking about this? She's like, Miss Ella, I've called. I met with them. They said, okay, is that it? And they get back to me. They never got back to me. But and I'm like, okay, let me make a phone call. So I reached out to the person that I know handles that school. And they said, and they responded to me. It took a couple days, but they did respond to me. And they said, yes, I handle that school. I said, okay, well, there's a mother you need to talk to. They made that conversation, and they told her, listen, there was some disciplinary action taken. Obviously, they can't disclose that to her, confidentiality. They're not going to do that.
Internal.
Of course. But she was, at that time, she was like, no, she needs to be fired. That's messed up. I said, look, if they told you that they disciplined her, then you asked for action, and they did action. At this point, there's nothing else to do. Unless there's something else you want out of this. And so that's when she was like, okay, well, maybe she shouldn't be there. What if this happens to another kid? I said, well, I mean, that's on you to decide how you want to do that.
That has to be approached when that happens. Let's hope that it don't. That's why that they got disciplined for their action. And there's going to be a discipline report put in her file as well. So, I mean, if there is anything odd and weird that happens with that specific teacher, in the realms of disciplinary action of children, it's going to be in the case file known. And at that time, depending on what the severity of it is, she may get fired. But I'm going to be honest, with firing the person over that, I wouldn't fire the person, but I'd probably suspend them for a few days, maybe a week, and have a very stern talking to, because that's not how you want to discipline children.
See, it just wouldn't do for me to be a principal at a school. Because I would have made them apologize to this mother and the child. Because we have to humble ourselves too. I mean, we're not perfect. Sometimes we make bad calls when it comes to kids. But when you are responsible for educating children, you have to educate them. You can't treat them like they're yours and you can do whatever you want. You still have to follow the rules of Alabama, in that capacity, no matter what job it is. Well, make a long story short, they made her feel comfortable in saying that, yes, we did discipline this. It will never happen again. And she was like, that's fine, Ella. So I just wanted to say this because I want to be fair to the school board in saying that yes, they did address it. They did address it. So I just wanted to say that because, I come here and I talk about the stuff that happened. I mean, I have to be fair
Maybe Mayor
in
Andrews
saying.
and Mandy should take a note from the school board.
Listen, yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. Let's see. What did he say? He could have had to get a tetanus shot for safety. Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. I mean, like,
hepatitis or
this is what I'm
something.
saying. Just because he had a bag on his hand, I think they felt like it's not gonna kill him. Yeah, but we gotta get out of this old school way of discipline because that
That
could
was
have
just
gone
stupid.
worse. Yeah, that could have gone worse. So I just wanted to report that because we did mention it, and I just wanted to bring that up.
Get
So
the
since
follow up
we're
out there.
doing this gumbo show, uh,
In the
y'all
mix.
know I have been talking about T Tunstall since March 31st, the day after that video went
It's a
viral.
really big deal.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep talking about it.
We
I
are going
just
to
I
keep
want
talking
to for,
about it.
yeah, I want to for the record to just to say this so that it can be passed on and you can get it out of my vocal cords that I am not going to let me do this. I'm sorry guys. I thought I had all this situated. I am not going to when I started doing these shows about T Tunstall, I started out because we kept crying justice for T. Okay? Now some people not crying it anymore, but I just tend to be a little bit
We still
more
are.
disciplined when it comes to stuff that I really believe in. And I really believe in this. So I'm going to keep talking about it. So I just want people just stop wasting your time sending people to tell me to stop talking about it. Stop wasting your time telling me to stop talking about certain situations and stories that we bring here to the Ella Johnson show because you don't like the way it makes you look. You have the opportunity to come on here and say exactly what you want to say. If you don't feel like you want to come on the show, then I can't do anything about that. Especially if I have invited you, I have emailed you and told you you can come. I'm just saying, especially with the Jerry Nettle situation, the T Tunstall situation, the school board situation, and any other situations that should arise. If someone wants to come here and tell their story and they have evidence to back it up and we have something that we can substantiate that story with, we're going to talk about it. Okay? Is that plain enough, Stephen?
It sounds pretty clear to me.
Sounds pretty clear. Okay. Because, and just for the record, it's not going to be one of those things where anyone has the what do I call it? No one has it like that where they can get me to do it. So just stop thinking that you can use people to get me to stop talking. I mean, we got to talk about these issues.
I can
Stephen.
testify to that. That is very true.
Testify to what? What are you testifying to?
I mean, you're going to go the way you're going to go, and that's it. You can't be steered.
Say
And
it
I
one more again.
applaud you for that.
Say it one more again. I got, I'm country. I gotta go. I gotta just give me my testimony.
Elle's going to go the way that she's going to go. She can't be steered.
That's right.
I mean, even we bump heads on some things here and there, but I mean, this is America. It's going to happen.
Yeah, because I see too much of it in the world where people can be bought, and I'm not one of them. I don't care about politics. I don't care about making someone look good. I'm not that person. So you guys can get your own show and you can do whatever you want and talk how you want. But on the Ella Johnson show, we're gonna talk about it like it is.
I'll handle the politics on my side. You handle the showtime on yours.
Yeah, you handle the politics on your own show. How about that? That's how we do that. Anyway, but I love going back and forth with you, Stephen, because we do have good conversation, and that's what makes a show good. Because I have to be true to it, because you guys are getting ready to make decisions, and you need to know everything. There's nothing like a well-informed voter or someone that's going to buy a house or someone that's going to decide to go to a school. You need to know all the information, and sometimes you may not know where to get that information. Well, I do. And that's what I do. So if I'm bringing that information to you, it's not to steer you one way or the other. It's to make sure you're informed. Okay. And that you're not just listening to people. You're coming here to the Ella Johnson show and you're like, okay, well, I heard on Ella Johnson they did A, B, C, and D. So we like to bring those types of shows, you guys, not to be a gossip show, not to be that kind of thing. Monroe County Uncovered is just that. we're going to uncover some things. Like one thing I want to talk about. This right here was in the article. This was in the paper yesterday. I just got this like not too long before we went live tonight. So what are you looking at here when you see this, Steven?
Well, I know that the police overtime thing with the council has been a fairly hot topic internally in the police department for quite a while now. I mean, this isn't a new this isn't like a new happening. I mean, officers have been, trying to get their, get overtime for quite a while to try to help share the load between certain shifts. Because, like I mentioned before, part of Mandy's job, we're all human. People may have a wedding, they may have a kid they got to go get out of school because they shoved their hand down a damn toilet. There's everyone has their own human conditions, and at times, we need some extra time. And I don't see why the city has made an issue for all these years for trying to give these officers overtime from the get-go. I mean, I think we talked about it before several shows ago. I mean, if these officers want to do some extra work and some extra patrolling, let them. I mean, why not? I mean, I don't see why you don't have the money unless you're about to get hit with a massive lawsuit because you killed somebody.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me just go there. Yeah, let's just go ahead and go there. Let's talk about these officers, Monroe Police Department, and all that. Okay. Now, for those of you that have not been following the Ella Johnson show and you don't know what T-Tunsil is and what that story is, there was a video that went viral of a young man that was dragged by the Monroe Police Department, and he died moments later after the dragging. Okay.
Face down in a Monroeville police car.
Now, I'm pissed, and there's so many others who are. Why are you so pissed, Ella? Well, for one, they're back at work.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Why are they back at work?
And I mean, we've already got reports that these officers have already, possibly violated the rights of mistreated several other people here recently, and they're the same officers involved with the death of T-Tunsil. So that's the whole reason why we're having the show, and we're bringing this out in full transparency, because if indeed these officers broke their oaths, which I think they did, in my opinion, and this man died in their custody because of their violations and their duty to protect, and so many other countless things that we saw on video, I would think that for Mayor Andrews bare minimum, at least their boss Mandy, I would not have these officers back on duty until SBI clears a report if there's wrongdoing at foot, because that's a massive, because here's the problem that they have, all right, and this is another insurance major liability that opens them up for another even larger massive class action. If these officers end up mistreating somebody again, which we already know they have, possibly, all right, and they hurt somebody again while this whole ordeal is going on, good God, City Council. I mean, come on, man. In the great words of our last president, come on, man. Do you really need to have an injection of common sense enough just to understand that? That's just stupid.
Okay, so let me ask you.
And it's a danger to us.
Let me ask you a question, Stephen. Should the City Council do something?
110%. I mean, we've been beating the drum on this, man, hard. They should have these officers under complete suspension until they are cleared through the state post, through the SBI, and Todd Watson over at the DA's office. This isn't anywhere near being over at all. I mean, this is, you got to look, you look at what happened with Jerry Nettles. All right, that's unfortunate. All right, the dude, they roughed him up. All right, okay, not good. But the man didn't die. Here we got a man.
That's right. Irrelevant.
And on this one, we have a man that did die. All right. And everyone's just treating it like it's okay. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
Okay. Since we're bringing up Jerry Nettles, there's a much bigger issue than the guys beating him up, roughing him up in handcuffs. The bigger issue is that the sheriff wanted to make sure that wasn't seen or heard. Nobody knew about it. We wouldn't have known about that. Do you think the public deserves to know that these types of things are happening? Taxpayer dollars are being going. Okay.
I
So
do.
the fact that he wanted to hide this and allegedly through a payoff, that's an even bigger problem. Then this is what's even better. Oh my God, this is you're gonna love this, Stephen. The fact that they allegedly lied on the report. See, this is what I'm talking about. We love to talk about what's on the report. They lie, and
Well,
they lie.
and as far as the officer is concerned, no, the officer's definitely looking at the video. I mean, you could tell that they didn't. The guy didn't throw a computer on her head; it fell. All
That's
right.
true.
I mean, I looked at the report, I read it, and I don't agree whatsoever with how Mr. Lassiter treated Jerry Nettles whatsoever. All right, and I mean,
And that he lied on the report.
from what it looks like, it does. I mean, I'm going to say it does. They did lie. I mean, he didn't pull a computer down on her head.
That's true.
And I think that, with that being said, I don't know how long they were suspended. I know that they were suspended for some point in time. And on other things with
It was
that,
either 2 weeks or 2 days. I don't know. It wasn't long enough, and it wasn't for the reason they said. They should have been suspended because of how they treated this man, but they were suspended because they didn't have on body cams. We got video cams. What we need body cam. We saw what they
that we
did.
do. In that regards, I would like to see that the sheriff's office does address it, and I'm sure that I doubt any of them are going to want to come here, but I mean they do have a media
Now,
channel.
why wouldn't they want to come here? We are good folks here. We good folks. Why wouldn't we want to come here?
I personally think that it's transparent, and I mean if they did, I mean it wouldn't be a bad idea. But I mean, in that department, there's definitely an issue with that one, and
I tell you what, I'm going to keep talking about it.
I would like to see a little bit more transparency in that, and see it be brought out to light and have an open discussion about it. If it's fairly new instance, I think that maybe we give them enough time, they might actually decide to come and say something about it.
Why do we need to give them time? Why?
Well, I'm saying that it's fairly new. I mean, it just happened within the last couple of weeks. And I think that maybe, the public does want to hear about it. I would think.
Let's just say this. Because now I'm on like full open-minded mode now. Okay? He was very quick to talk about T. Tunstall. Very quick to say it wasn't me. When at the same time, he already knew months before this, you already did do some stuff that we didn't know about. But you were very quick. Now, listen, I think the Monroe Police Department, I think they need training. I think they're wrong for what they did, but I think his guys were as well. Okay? And the reason we knew about Monroe Police Department being fair to Boatwright is because someone videotaped it. And the only reason we know about this one is because someone from the inside, who obviously don't like what's going on in the sheriff's department, leaked it. So if we're going to compare, because I didn't want to do the comparison thing. I didn't want to pick sides and be like, oh, the Monroe Police Department is horrible. The sheriffs are great. I never took to that sentiment, right?
Well, I believe there's improvement in places across the board in different places. I mean, I really don't like the Monroe Police Department because of all the people that run it from the head top, and it's a reflection of who they are from the higher ups down. As far as
what you said.
Listen, I'm not done yet. Now on the sheriff's side now, I mean across the board, if you look at has transpired there, do we got a 1 or 2 off? I mean, I can't necessarily at this moment say that the fact that Lassiter roughed this man up and did what he did is a direct reflection from Sheriff Boatwright. All right, I can't say that at the moment. I really can't, because I mean I have personally interacted and spoke with, or have been pulled over, or have dealt with so many of the sheriff's office and members of them. I've always been treated with some form of respect by them, all right, just across the board, and with other people that I know. Now, on the other side, MPD, I haven't really heard anything good about them at all. But what I'm getting at is that I really don't think that the actions of a couple officers really go ahead and completely reflect who Boatwright is as a sheriff across the board, at least as of yet now. That's all I'm saying to it. I see that there's a whole hell of a lot more issues All right. I mean, completely across the board with the city. And then over on the sheriff's office, there's a couple of things that have happened. I don't agree with them at all, and I will not agree with them whatsoever. I think that they are issues. I'm just saying, if you look at the gravity of the whole entire situation, I can't poop on sheriff for the actions of a couple of cops. At least now, not at the moment.
So then, why are you pooping on Mandy for the actions of those 3 cops?
Well, Mandy, okay, has got a lot of issues, along with the city and the council and their mayor and her boss, all of them across the board. All right.
She wasn't out there when they did that. How do you know she trained them that way? I'm playing devil's advocate now.
I mean, I know how they trained them, and I'm just telling you right now, I watch how all of her officers treat people in the public, and then I could see how the majority of the sheriff's officers treat people in their public, and across the board, there's a whole lot more respect with their officers and members of the public, all right, opposed to how Mandy treats their officers.
Are you sure about that? I've been hearing otherwise. I'm just saying.
I mean, if there is, I mean, I'm all open to hear it. I mean, I really am. But I mean, at the moment, in my opinion, I don't think that as a whole,
as a whole, they have more.
They have more integrity as a whole.
Okay.
I believe they have more integrity as a whole. All right. Over on the other side with the MPD, I don't believe that they have more integrity as a whole across the board. I mean, shoot.
Well, we definitely have to agree to disagree, because I think they both have issues. And I think that one may be just a little bit better at covering it up than others. But I think that when we see a video of an officer treating a person this way, then turn around and lie about it, and then get promoted, that's a problem. That's poor leadership. Would you award somebody for treating someone that way? Would you have done that?
I mean, no, I wouldn't. Okay. I really don't like Lassiter fairly too much myself from my own personal things I've had with him. So I do have some bias there, but.
And then he trusted him with a dog. Can you imagine? Did you see what just happened in Tennessee? Was it Tennessee with the young man that was the dog?
Yeah.
On him for like over a minute?
With the truck driver on the side of the interstate?
That's somebody who has an evil heart that would do that.
Yeah, I actually saw that on one of the police radar channels I watched, I think yesterday.
You got to have some control. And if you're already pushing on people because they're mouthing, what do you think he would have done if he had that dog in there?
Well, that's he didn't have the dog, so let's thank God that he didn't at the moment.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I'm not trying to get into argument with you about this, but what I am is standing firm on the fact that neither one of them got it all together. They both have issues. There needs to be a complete police reform in Monroe County, period. Because the only way,
I'm going to interrupt you there, and this is important. The only way that we're ever going to have a across the board police reform here is that if we have internal affairs get made a jurisdiction here. There's no internal affairs here, period. All right, so. And everybody here, for the most part, in the inner circle knows that. And on the last show, I've made a really, I think that there's a really big issue there, because we have our representatives and the people that are over our district that make those shots, that request those things from Montgomery. And there it is. And I mean, we'll just to kill the politics on the moment, we're all very transparent. I don't support Brian House as a candidate for sheriff's office. I do support Boatwright as a sheriff for the candidacy in the election that we're having. So, I mean, I'm being completely transparent in that.
No, that's fine. I mean, you have that freedom to do that here. Why, since we're going to make it political, what is your issue with Brian House?
I'm not ready to disclose that yet.
Okay.
There's many issues in that department, and just wait.
Well, I mean, I don't honestly. My deal is I care about the citizens of Monroe, and I know
I do as well.
Fact that Boatwright allowed this to happen on his watch.
Well, I'm gonna be completely frank with you. If you have Brian House as a candidacy, you're gonna see a whole hell of a lot more than that. All right, and then you're gonna have Mandy in control of the police department, and then you're gonna have Brian House control of the sheriff's office. And they're fairly co-aligned there, okay? And I'm just telling you, all right, with what you're going to see more of what we get out of the Monroeville Police Department, all right? Like Like you've got numerous reports.
Let's say that's true, because we're not gonna, we're not fixing to have a
I'm
politician
just getting it out there
here,
saying.
yeah. Let's just say that Boatwright has an opportunity. He wants to win, right? He wants to win the election. He's out there telling people that he's this, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he's going to make sure that people are treated right. Well, guess what? We just gave him an opportunity to do it, because what you do speaks louder than what you say. So if he means it, then why isn't he doing it?
Give him a chance. I think you'd be surprised.
We don't need to give him a chance. We don't. He doesn't deserve to have 30 and 45 days to figure it out. That should have been easy. He didn't have a problem giving that guy a promotion. He didn't wait for that. I'm just saying. But we're gonna move on. Let's talk about
you. I agree with you with that. I can't disregard you that. I mean, I'll give you that.
When it's right, it's right. I'm just saying. You guys are trying to push me a narrative with a flyer, and I gave you a real situation where you have someone that was mistreated. Now, if you care about the community, the Black community, you care about them, then why aren't you doing anything about this young man that was beaten by one of your officers? If you want me to believe you care about my community, then we just gave you one on a silver platter. Prove it. What you do speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying. That's if I were voting, but I'm not. Aren't y'all glad that I'm not a politician? Would you vote for me, Stephen, if I were up there running for office?
Yeah, I would. I think you'd be an excellent mayor.
Mayor? Ooh. Cha. I would let you be right there. We'd have a great time. No, I can't get in politics. No, I can't get in politics. I can't do it because I can't sell out. I can't do it. I'll tell on people, you try to bribe me. Like now, here's the thing. Let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you one thing. We're going to move on. If it's true that there was a payout to hush this case, do you think that was right? And I'm saying if. I can't prove it was. That's what I heard. So if it was truly a payout to hush this out, do you think that was ethical?
I mean, that's a pretty high and tall allegation. And if it is true, I would completely disagree with that 100%. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, that's one I would really have to see. I mean, that's a tall order there. And I would not agree with it whatsoever. I mean, it might change my opinions in some departments, but I'm going to be completely honest. I would. That's for such an allegation that high. I want to see the proof in that.
Bro, look at what somebody just said here. He is real fair and honest. House very respectful.
Everyone to each his own.
Yeah, to each his own, right? Hello, House is a good man. So we got some people here that support House. Okay. Well, I don't know, House. You know what would be great? Why don't we have a debate on the Ella Johnson Show? Let's bring House and Boatwright right here.
That I would love to see. That would be fantastic. I mean, hey, all the candidates everywhere else, across, the United States and the world, they have their own open public debate forums. I like that. That's actually pretty cool.
It doesn't matter what color we are, we all deserve the same respect. That is absolutely right, Cassidy. You're absolutely right about that, my dear. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly. The reason I made a situation about race is because a lot of politicians love to cater to the Black community by going to their church and doing all these kinds of things, like to get them where they feel safe and make all these kind of promises. That's the reason I said that, because that's the kind of stuff that we need to sniff out. I want, if you really want to, if Boatwright really wants to prove that he's who he says he is, I want to see him make a post, say something about that situation, apologize if you will, I don't care, whatever. Because right now you see there's some litigation.
There is litigation,
So it didn't have to go that far. It didn't have to. That's all I'm saying. All right, but we're gonna move on from that. Give him a chance for what? Police brutality.
Well, I think that we need to have internal affairs here. All right. And that's the reason why we're having the show, because there is no oversight here. Ella has turned into being the oversight body, overnight. And the fact that we're having to do it that way is not the way it's supposed to be done in general. We're supposed to have internal affairs. So I really want everyone out there to really question, why do we not have internal affairs? All right. This is not a sheriff's question. This is not a chief of police from Manny's question. This is a Mayor Andrews, City Council, and the representatives of our district question. Why are our representatives in our district not asking or getting oversight bodies to be looking at our clerks, looking at our magistrate, looking at our mayor, looking at our sheriff, looking at all of it across the board? Internal affairs is built to be able to be a watch body to keep integrity, all right, in our lower systems. And the fact that we don't have internal affairs has always been a massive issue here.
That's one way we can get them here. Let's send them the video from the sheriff's office. Let's send them the video from T. Tunstall. Let's show them we need them here. That's one way to do it.
I mean, it really is. And I mean, as there's some things out there. We're waiting for some body cams and things like that from the city's office and whatnot. You know, that's
got a question for us. She says, Stephen, why do you think they're silent in Monroe right now? Are they silent in Monroe?
They are very, very quiet. I mean, all the way down to Mayor Andrews isn't even showing up for swearing-in ceremonies and having Al Bruton do it.
Really? So is the mayor acting as the mayor, or is Al Bruton now acting as the mayor?
Well, that's a very serious question, and I was raising that last night because I don't see why Al Bruton is swearing in someone for Public Works and not the mayor. And I mean, I got a tip from somebody, and I don't know how true this allegation is, but seeing the condition of how old Mayor Andrews is and the medical complications he has, I mean, I kind of got to agree with it that it's possible. Apparently, Andrews is unable to walk, and he needs to be assisted to walk. So
he's on a walker.
I mean, from the tip that I got is he is unable to walk unassisted. He could be.
Sorry to hear that.
I mean, I am too. I mean, I don't wish sickness on anybody like that. Right. It's terrible. I really do. But I will say this though, and this is a screaming issue, is if the city council, okay, all right, and Al Bruton and everyone knows this, and if this is true, that indeed our mayor that got voted in has this serious medical of a complication that he cannot carry out the duties of his job, all right, why are we not now finding or putting it out there and opening a special election to get a new mayor to take charge of our city? I mean, right off the bat. I mean, if you think that Mayor Andrews is going to go another 5 years, if he has this type of a serious medical complication, all right, by all means, I feel bad for the guy. I mean, but look at what they've done to Mitch McConnell. I mean, I'm not saying in political things. I'm just saying, look at his party. They held him up on a crutch for so many years. You might as well call it elder abuse. I don't think that Mitch McConnell should have been, in his position for a very long time. Term limits. Yeah. Term limits. All right.
Yeah.
But I really think right now, as our community, we are in America, we are the United States, and we do have a constitution, and we all know what's going on. And if anybody didn't know what's going on, Mayor Andrews did not show up for a swearing-in ceremony and let Al Bruton do it. And it was done on the community fund page instead of the Chamber of Commerce page, which I kind of thought that was a little odd. But
so in situations like this, what do citizens need to do? I mean, for one, y'all need to start going to your city council meetings and making demands. Like, start posting stuff. If you really want to get under their skin, this is the time to do it.
District members that are over the districts for the city of Monroeville in our quadrant, they all need to get together and they all need to have a special voting hearing to, relinquish mayorship with Mayor Andrews. I mean, point period. And I mean, not just let's take T. Tunstall away from this, conversation for a moment, which he was the boss and over the reins in that department. And Al Bruton got a little bit of it as pro temp, proxy mayor. We have some very serious issues because I want to put this out here. We again have Monroeville Police Department. All right. We still have Mandy. All right. And if we don't have an acting mayor, all right, that has the full power and authority in his mayoral duties to make sure that the people he commands lower beneath him are doing their jobs correctly, all right, with integrity, and we don't have that, all the people that are below him, all right, it's a free-for-all, baby.
Maybe we need to find out what's going on. Maybe that's the next Monroe County Uncover. Who's running the city?
Who is running the city? I would really love to know that.
Listen, Cassidy wants to see that. She wants a debate on the Ella Johnson show between House, vote right.
I think a House and debate vote right, a Brian House debate with vote right in any formal, and excuse me, in any format, whether it's here, somewhere else. I don't give I don't give a crap. But I really do believe that a formal public debate between the two candidates, because there is a lot of stakes in this election. All right, there really is. And I believe that a formal debate between both parties would show a lot of transparency on both sides and would give us as the community a whole lot to be able to, drink in and understand where both sides are coming from. And not just
Well, let me just play devil's advocate a little bit. What if I told you that there are a lot of Democrats, allegedly, that are going to that side? Why do you think they are? If
I
that's
mean,
true.
if it is, I mean, I'm a Republican and I'm over on the other side. So, I mean, that's kind of a bipartisan issue. So, I mean, if there are Democrats that are leaning over to the House side, he's a Republican. I mean, so be it. But keep in mind, there's a lot of Republicans out there that are voting for vote right as well, and I'm one of them. I'm not the only.
Absolutely.
I'm not the only
Absolutely.
one. So,
So why do
I
you
mean,
think?
that's potato.
Right. So in other words, it doesn't matter to you if the person is, you're not a straight ticket kind of person.
I've never been a straight ticket person. I mean, I'm more of a libertarian, but unfortunately, the Libertarian Party has kind of got a lot of issues over this last 20 years, But in general, I am more of I voted for Donald Trump. All right, I am a Trump supporter. All right, and for Donald Trump to be able to take the reins, do what he did, he had to go to the Republican Party. All right, I honestly believe throughout all the years of his career, I followed him from a child up. I mean, he was more on the libertarian, straddled off in the middle between both. But in order to be able to really run and have a chance for win, he had to pick one side or the other. And with all the issues that a lot of the United States Democrat Party has across the board, I mean, I understand that, going with the Republican ticket was a smart move. And I do believe in the same time, like Brian House, he's running on a Republican ticket. The big red wave, all right, is a hot commodity right now with a whole lot of push. And I do believe as far as, in an election political standpoint, coming out and running against vote right, all right, on a Republican ticket is a smart move, because there is going to be a lot of straight ticket voters out there. But at the same time, there are plenty of Democrats, or plenty of Republicans out there that won't vote straight ticket, and I'm one of them, and there's countless others. I'm not going to say their names because that's their own privacy of how they vote. But I'm telling you, I know of a lot of Republicans that are in favor for vote right, and vote right's Democrats. So I mean, you're going to get that on both sides.
What if I told you that because of Jerry Nettles' video, they got to see vote right in a different light? Would you believe me?
Well, I do 100%. I mean, I do believe you. I agree with that. And I believe that as for on a political standpoint, I mean, let alone what's right standpoint at the same time, that does shift, a lot of things. And I don't really, I'm not being paid by anybody, but whatever. I choose to believe what I want to. So.
Well, I just think that, but because you're Republican and you're voting for a Democrat, the tables work both ways.
Correct, and that's what I'm saying too. It's going both ways, no matter which one likes it.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I would love to be the moderator for that debate, and I would ask questions on both sides. I would find the dirt on both of them.
I guarantee you would.
Oh, and I'm sure there could be possibly vote on both sides. Ain't nobody clean.
There is. See,
I think that the one that this is my personal opinion. I think that vote right is sitting in a different type of seat because of this situation that just recently came out about him in his jail and how he handled it. And I think that is some conversations that he needs to address that. If he really wants to win the election, he's gonna have to own that. Don't try to lie it away. Own it.
In respects to that, I mean, Jerry Nettles, and I applaud him. Good job for the lawsuit and all that. I mean, I would have done the same thing immediately as well. just to also know, I mean, on the legal standpoint of it, I mean, how Boatwright's going to have to handle a public announcement in that regards, where it's going to have to be handled by their counsel as well, since there is an active lawsuit that just happened overnight with it. So,
Somebody
I mean,
died and he was the first one to speak, and it wasn't even his jurisdiction.
I'm not. Well, I'm talking about where he has a lawsuit. His jail has he and his department has a lawsuit
Okay, I
from
see what
Jerry
you're saying.
Nettles.
He has to be
So
slow because now it involves him.
correct. I mean, on a
Gotcha.
legal standpoint. So I mean,
Gotcha.
anything that I mean on a legal standpoint, I'm just speaking legally. All right.
But you know they use that excuse all the time, right?
Anything that he's going to address. Well, well, Mayor Andrews and Mandy, they're in the same boat with
Now
that
you know
too.
we can do this all night. We can definitely do it
they're
all
in the
night.
same
How
boat
much
with
time
it
you got?
too.
How much
So
time
I
you
mean,
got?
both sides are under pressure, and I agree with
Mandy's
that.
not running for office though. Let's just remember that.
Well,
Mandy's
no.
not.
Well, what I'm saying is about the quietness in that regards. But I mean, in all due respect, I mean, what happened in their camp is massively a bigger issue. It's still an issue nonetheless. I'm not trying to discount that the issue that happened with Jerry Nettles. They have a death on their hands. Now, as far as the issue with Jerry Nettles, there is there is a lawsuit that got filed, and I know illegally, Boatwright's in it, and their camp's going to have to talk to their attorney and be able to what they're going to be able to say to the public and what they can't because of the open litigation. So I do want everyone to know out there that in order for Boatwright to come out and make any public, formal statements, it's going to have to be ran through their legal party.
I don't buy that because the charges were dropped against the young man, were they not?
That I don't know. I mean, were they?
I don't. This
I mean, it wouldn't matter. I mean, Lassiter did do what he did. I mean, that
is no longer good enough. That is no longer good enough. He's not gonna hide behind this legal stuff. So you can tell him I said it. He's not gonna hide behind that. He's gonna have to bring it. If you want people to respect you in this city, and I'm talking to the police in Monroe, the Monroe Police Department, the sheriff, the mayor, the city council, the people are getting tired of y'all's BS. They're getting tired. Okay? I don't live there and I'm getting tired of it. Y'all are sitting in these positions, you're getting paid, you're getting elected, and you're out here lying on flyers and telling people to vote for you. Well, they have situations going on right now, and then none of you guys are doing anything about it. What are you doing about it? Nobody is doing anything. We don't know anything about T. Tunstall. Boatwright showed up at Sharon's house. He did. He showed up at her house, and he also told her he would do whatever he could to help her with her situation.
I mean, that should say a lot too,
That's talk. They all did that. That don't mean that. Remember when I said what you do speaks louder than what you say. What has he done? I don't want to go there. I'm not trying to go there because I'm not trying to beat up on Boatwright.
Just with all that being said, now as soon as Sharon Tunstall's family get their autopsy and investigation, they can pursue their civil litigation. I mean, mind you, the sheriff's office and the sheriff is going to be called as a witness in that. So, I mean, if he said he's going to do something, just know that the family is, and the attorneys, let alone, are going to have to call the sheriff's office in as a witness on what happened, because it happened in their parking lot. So
right.
if he said he's going to help Sharon out and, tell the truth and everything like that, I would give the man, enough levity to carry out in that. But it's not time for that yet. We haven't been able to see that action because that action hasn't come up yet. We got to get that lawsuit filed for the family.
Yeah. Well, Rochelle is saying he knows that you love. I mean, I know that he loves Boatwright too.
I mean, it's not that I love him.
I don't really care about that.
It's not that I love him. I just respect the guy. I mean, I have my own. I have my own personal reasons for it too.
But this is the thing, though, Stephen. This is what gets me. Is we don't like to call stuff out. Why not? Because we call it out when it's convenient. I don't like Monroe Police Department. I'll call their stuff out. But now I like Boatwright. I respect him. Yeah, but he allowed his officers to beat up on a young man who was handcuffed and then lie and say that he assaulted them and wrote it up that way. And not only that, they lied on the paperwork to get a warrant. That's under his watch. Miss me with that.
Well, on the flip side of that, I mean, you look at who signed the warrant and who did all that. I mean, Boatwright didn't do that. So,
Yeah, but okay, no, he didn't sign the vote right. He didn't sign the warrant. But who wrote up the warrant to get it? Who's responsible for that? Because they broke the law. Who did that?
I
Who
think
wrote
that
it up?
I think Officer Lassiter has a lot of things to explain himself for. I'll say that.
I think he does. And who should be asking him the question? Who runs that jail?
Oh well, I mean the sheriff does.
Oh, okay. So then should I be asking Lassiter or should Boatwright be asking Lassiter?
Well, I think that, as we said, that we should be able to have some open forum and some transparency.
Absolutely.
So I'm just
But you
saying,
don't have to give him time.
give the man a chance. I mean, if he doesn't, he doesn't. All right,
No.
and I'll make a comment on that if he don't. But freaking, if he does, I would love to hear what he's got to say. And I gotta just leave that where it is. It's a very fairly recent happening. There's litigation that just happened. Give the man a chance to talk to his attorneys and figure out what he's going to be able to talk to.
I don't buy that, sir. We're gonna agree to disagree on that one. We really are, because I don't think he deserves a chance.
Oh. And the reason why I wasn't able to show up at the protest is I was in Florida working on a boat for one of my clients, and that's why
I don't think he's talking about you. I think he's talking about Boatwright. I don't think he's talking about you.
Oh.
I don't know. I know where you stand on T, because you've been here with me pretty much from the beginning, sorta, talking about T and the injustice to that. So
and I'm also doing things, and just for Mr. Kemp to understand, is that, I mean, I'm not going to say it on the show unless you otherwise, a green light it, but I am doing things behind the scenes for the family and the show and for the Tunstall family that you don't know about. All right. So before anybody wants to, slander me out and say I'm a sellout for this or that, I have my own constituencies, and we all know that, but I want everyone to know that I am actively doing things legally to help in the pursuit of justice for T. Tunstall and their family. All right, so just know that.
You're appreciated for that, Stephen. I think that where it throws people off is that we showed the video of what happened to Jerry Nettles on this show last week.
And I don't agree with it.
Right. But you won't call him out, though.
I want to give the man a chance to be able to come forward, and he has to talk to his legal team. I mean,
yeah. Okay. All right, we'll put a pin in that one. It's called the police blue wall. They try to cover each other. Yeah,
and that's why we need internal affairs. I kid you not. I'm gonna beat that drum until the skin wears out. Yeah. So many of the issues that's went on for decades, not just a few years, decades across the board. All right, is due to the lack of oversight from several different places, and I've already named many of them on the show. But internal affairs would be number one. All right. Internal affairs is meant to be the body that if there is a problem with an officer, all right, something happened, you file a complaint, that complaint goes to internal affairs, then they investigate the officers and they dictate what's going to happen to them officers. The fact that we don't have that, all right, is already a massive problem. And we're not going to get that unless our district representatives make this point in Montgomery and say, hey, Monroeville is a black zone. There's no oversight here. We need to fix that.
Isn't that something that the mayor can't the mayor ask for internal affairs, and so can both?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay.
So perhaps you should tell him that.
I think that it's a very hot topic that we need to have it here. All right. And I mean, at the moment, our mayor is medically disabled, and we're kind of straddling the line of there's no one really running the town. So, I mean, if we want to be able to make that address, that ain't happening. All right.
Well, we should. That's going to be my next post. Who is running the city?
Who?
CEO. Yeah.
And I mean, as far as anybody saying I'm a sellout for Al Bruton, all right, I'm not a sellout to Al Bruton. I just know the man in passing. I mean, I went into a store and my business had a freaking credit account with him, and I rub shoulders with him every now and then. He's always treated me with respect and I'll tell you this much right now, and he will tell you, he don't want to be the mayor here. He runs a freaking business. All right. He can't be the mayor and adequately run the issues in Monroe County. I mean, in Monroeville City, so as a mayor.
Why did he accept pro tem then? Why did he accept that? How did he get that position?
No one else wants it. Wow. That's the whole internal conflict that they got over in the council. All right. Seriously. Nobody wants it. No one wants the liability. All right. And he's like, fine, if no one's going to do it, shit, I'll do it then. But I'm not going to be the freaking mayor. Find one.
Really?
Yes. And I mean, any municipal jurisdiction.
I think that's just as bad, though. You're taking it and not, you don't, I mean, you have to have one though, right? Is that what you're saying?
Right. Yes. Well,
You have to have
that's
one.
my next point. Is that in
Okay.
any that's why you have a lieutenant governor. Excuse me. That's why you have a lieutenant governor. That's why you have a vice president. All right. That's why municipalities they vote on a pro temp mayor just in case something happens to that mayor. He gets in a car accident. He gets sick. He has the flu. He can't come to a meeting. All right. And if there's a legitimate reason why the mayor is excused from a session, all right, which there's minutes taken on that. All right, it's not you just call, oh, I'm not going to be there today. There has to be a formal carried out to the council, and the council will go, hey, our pro temp, our slash proxy, comes and does whatever needs to be done in that session and stands in for the mayor. But I'm just telling you, I mean, if I, and just common sense will tell you this, if you are running, all right, a very large business that took up the majority of your time, do you think in any rationality that you would want to be mayor? I'm going to just ask you straight up, El. If you had a large business that took up the majority of your time, all right, and someone asked you, would you like to run for mayor? Would you take it?
I probably wouldn't,
That's
because I
my
don't
point.
want anybody to go lacking.
Right. And that's exactly why Al won't take it because he physically, I mean, just can't do it. I mean, he's stepping in his role because they elect him to be pro temp. But I just want you to understand the stress. Damn the name Al Bruton, just a pro temp. If you have someone that has, a fairly large business, a lot of personal things are going on with their life, and then you're also going to request them to have the majority of their time be taken running the dang city, man, that's a no-go. That's a no-brainer. So, I mean, I want to take just Al Bruton's name out of it for the moment. Anybody with any consciousness, if you're running a business and that's your whole thing in your life, you'd be an idiot to freaking go ahead and take on a full mayorship, in an electoral capacity. That's all I'm saying. So there's
Right.
a big issue with the council in general because they know. Let me just say it out there and get it out there. They know that they have a medically or a conflicted mayor, all right, and they're not taking the proper actions to hold a special election and relieve him of his duty as mayorship and man, go out to candidates where, I mean, they could easily be able to get a special election ticket ran with the ballot box here in Monroeville City jurisdiction, all right, to have someone get voted in to be mayor right now. We still got, another almost 2 months before the election happens? This is the time now to do that. And if the council in the city can't get their their crap together to be able to make those decisions now, which are hard, all right, that just shows you how all of them across the board give a crap about what goes on with us. If they can't get their crap together in that council, find a dang mayor or candidates that they can get on a ballot because they know that their mayor's not going to make it. He's already conflicted with possibly an extremely large civil suit, okay, the T. Tunstall's. And then you also have the fact that he's suffering from medical disabilities. You as a council know this and should be doing your due diligence for us and make those hard decisions and go, hey, look, everybody, we need to go ahead and disqualify him as mayor due to his medical disabilities. And we need to hold a special election and get someone in here that's going to freaking run the damn city because you can't continue to operate on a pro temp proxy with Al Bruton, period. All right. That's not the way that works. He's only in the way that works is only for emergency purposes. Now, look, the last thing that happened with Oglesby when he ran himself out of town, and I think I got a lot to do with that, but all right, Oglesby wasn't mayor for more than 4 months, okay, and he ran. He literally abandoned his post. Mayor Sandy, proxy mayor, was elected by the council to take the reins. But here's the issue that the council did. That was so in the beginning of that election, Mayor Sandy was freaking mayor for 4.5 years. All right, they never once got together and said, hey, we need to hold a special election. All right, if Sandy wants to run for mayor, is there any other candidates that want to come up and step up to the plate, run against Sandy and do it?
Yeah, that sounds like an issue that definitely needs to be addressed, Stephen. I really think so.
It really is.
I want to take Sharon's comment here. Sharon is the mother of T. Tunstall, who died in police custody in Monroe. She said, well, he told me to call him and wouldn't talk to me. He told his secretary he would call me back. I hadn't gotten a call yet. That was a week after my son died.
Is she talking about Al?
No, she's talking about Boatwright.
Oh.
Yeah. And I knew that. That's why I'm like, yeah. I mean, he's. I know he can't do a whole lot, I guess, but you can do something. Yes.
Well, when we get done with the show,
The
we do
worst
have
thing you can do is
when we
lie.
get off when we get done with the live broadcast, you and I do need to speak, freaking, because there's a lot of things that we could possibly do. So when we're done with the broadcast,
What do you
freaking, if you
mean? Do like what? If it involves politics, I'm not interested. Yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not going and be a political foe for anyone. I don't care. I care about T Tunstall.
no, I'm saying that there's actions and things that maybe we could carry out and do, and I mean I'm
No,
not
I
going to.
kind of want the ones that are elected and getting paid to do it. I'm not doing their job. They need to do it. That's how we're gonna do that. All right. So next we have James. James says put the pressure on the mayor office for internal affairs to be included. That's so true, James, because that's why I was asking you, Stephen. Is that something that the sheriff can do? I don't know if it is or isn't. I'm not trying to put
The
that in his
well,
hands,
the
but I
all
know the
right.
mayor can.
I absolutely. I mean, especially since and I'm going to throw this out there too. Mayor, he was over SBI and the very head of all of law enforcement for the state of Alabama. And I would think, and this is where I think there's a lot of issues behind the scenes in Monroeville that we've talked about privately. Why would the top cop of Alabama, top cop of the state of Alabama, come and be a mayor here and then go, well, wait a minute, why don't you guys have, why isn't this area, we have an internal affairs for this jurisdiction? All right. He had, because he's sick now, but he had the direct line. If he wanted to pick the phone up and go, hey, we don't have any internal affairs here, what do we got to do to fix that? Can we get this fixed? Mayor Andrews, because of, top cop and his seniority of where he came from, all right, and what he accomplished in the state of Alabama, he would have been the best, all right, person to be able to get internal affairs here. So
You're great. You're right.
So I
I'm
really
not going
want.
to knock the man for his accomplishments. He did.
So
He did great work.
I'm
I'm
just
not going
very
to knock
curious
that.
why our members of our district here, all right, and then top cop mayor never addressed this and say, hey, we don't have internal affairs here. I mean, and I personally think the reason why that there's a lot of illegal things that are going on in the woods and certain things and whatnot. That I think a lot of our listeners kind of probably know what I'm talking about, and everyone's turning a blind eye to that. I mean, so if you were
I mean, if
people,
you're going to start talking about blind eye, I mean, it just seems to me that that's very rich, Stephen, because one of the reasons we even have the Jerry Nettles is because of that blind eye. You know what I'm saying?
well,
So it's
that's why
almost
we
like,
need, and that's why we need internal affairs. If we had internal affairs here, so much of the bullshit, the BS that goes on here wouldn't freaking
then why
happen.
should you? Why, wait a minute now, because this is the thing that's weird. You're telling me that they can't be honest unless somebody's watching.
I mean, it's been going on like that for a long time. All right. And you got to keep in mind that freaking certain officers, all right, and certain people have their own constituencies with their own shit that goes on all around this town. And
Oh Lord,
I'm not going to air out everybody's dirty laundry on this damn show other than freaking the people that need to. All right. Take
it's a
that for
lot
what
of
it's
crazy
worth.
stuff. It's a lot of crazy stuff going on up there, right?
There is a
Oh,
lot of
Dr.
there's a
Stripper.
lot of crazy stuff going
Who is
on
Dr.
here.
Stripper? Who is Dr. Stripper? I don't know what he's saying.
I don't know the name either.
Yeah. We're smarter than him right here, moreover, and active reference by people who say he speak for don't speak. Okay. Rochelle's on one. Listen, it's just this is the thing for me, Stephen, is when I see something happening and somebody tells me I see something differently, I think that's what rubs people the wrong way. If you're telling me that I'm supposed to trust somebody who drugged these officers, I mean drugged T Tunstall, you want me to believe that the sheriff is good, even though I saw what his officers did. So it's like I want all of them to own up to it, not just because it's an election. Don't go out here trying to do something nice just so people will vote for you. Do it because it's what you do. Or is it not what you do? I'm just saying, I just want to see transparency across the board there. and I think the Monroe was going to be well on its way. I think that this with T. Tunstall, we don't have the report yet, Stephen.
Yeah, and but I think that 90-day mark has already elapsed by a good
It's
couple of
gone.
weeks.
Yeah, we've bypassed that.
I mean, the only reason why I personally would believe that we haven't seen anything yet is that we're in the quiet eye of a very large storm. All right, and
That's a very good way of putting it.
all right, and I want to be straight
Yeah.
up with you. I mean, if there was any inkling that these officers and this police department could have been able to scoot by and be able to use some type of obscure excuse, which I don't see how they could personally myself, I think that they would have already tried to make them plays. And I mean, we saw in the very beginning how Mandy and Andrews handled it. That was without incident. It's unfortunate. Freaking, it was natural, whatever you want to call it. They, in the very beginning, they already tried to do a butt cover. But now that we have gone so far and we're at the 90-day, way fairly well past the 90-day mark for the family to have got their report, I think that they're all in panic mode and they're trying to figure it out. And I mean, if I was them, I mean, I would have already just said to hell with it. Here you go. What's right's right. What's wrong's wrong. Figure it out. All right. Yeah. But the fact that we're still that far beyond it. Look, they've already concluded the autopsy. All right. They've already got toxicological reports. All that's been done. All right. That got done in the first couple of weeks. Okay, people. All right. The whole investigative portion of this, all right, with the SBI, all right, through the pathologist that did the autopsy, is all what's at stake here. And for it to have taken this long, I believe that they know that there are some extreme large core issues. And Ella, they know that people aren't shutting up about it either. So
they're definitely not shutting up about
they're very limited in their issues. Because I mean, I'll say this much: when we get those body cameras back, and I'm going to be very interested to see how the city handles all those requests. So there's that.
Here's what I think, Stephen. This is what I think. I think that, and I've said this all along, that the statement that Mandy made was garbage. Okay, it was garbage. We saw through it. It was a lie. Most of it was a lie. You used and played on words. I read straight through it. I've seen it a million times. And I think that she wants to retract it, but she doesn't know how. It's too late to retract it now.
Right. It's foot-mouth syndrome. And that's what I'm alluding to on it, is that, they already came out and made some very ignorant responses to the public about, oh, well, he was arrested without incident. Nothing happened. And then all the back and forth on that. And they already, and I'm just going to say it, they already screwed the pooch on that one. All right. You can't retract that. You can't take that back. That's already out there. And it's been one of the main focuses that we brought up here on the show to boot.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
What I was saying is that she said that they were arrested without incident. But she's going to have to explain why he has taser burns on. She's going to have to explain that. She's going to have to explain why you gave Narcan to a guy. He didn't have drugs in his system. And you're going to have to explain how is it that he was dead when he made it to the jail and you tried to put him in the jail. Your guys were riding around with a corpse, allegedly. He died moments after he was dragged.
He did.
And it's going to show in the autopsy.
I think we saw the last moment. I think we saw the last moments of his actual life. I think so. On tape. I mean, for real. And it's really sad and unfortunate. I mean, for the way the man, died, in that capacity. I mean, it's disgusting and it's despicable.
Those officers should have been fired. They should be charged. If what we saw matches that autopsy, and I said if, they should be charged.
Yeah. And I think that's, a whole, and I'm going to bring it up too. Now, you got to think, what I just brought up a minute ago, we have a city right now at the moment that I believe, and other people believe, it's highly probable, that is flying without a leader. All right. The leader that was actually involved, to be the case overseer, because he is Mandy's boss, all right, is medically disabled at the moment, I guess. All right. So how does the city without a real leader, all right, even start engrossing themselves in how to even handle the situation with the SBI. Dude, this whole deal is conflicted and messed up across the entire board. All right, but I'll say this, that doesn't matter. All right. The fact that matters is that give the family the autopsy, your investigation, and let the DAs and the family and how that's going to transpire start carrying out. The fact that everybody's dragging their feet, being silent on it, says a whole lot. Because if there was anything, any room that could go to their side, they would have been. You already know they would have been quick to be like, oh well, this happened, that happened, blah. Nah, we ain't heard nothing.
Silence is deafening, and
the silence says a lot.
When that report comes out, do you think we're talking about it now? We're really going to talk about it when that report comes out, okay? Because Monroe will never forget the name of Myron T. Tunstall. I guarantee you that. No. You'll never forget. You'll know next time.
Just like they're never going to forget Johnny D. McMillan. Absolutely. That name is never going to be forgotten either. So that it's a big deal.
But it's funny how Monroe doesn't honor, like Johnny D. That was one of those bad things that happened that they just really want to go away. That we've forgotten that the Monroe Police Department and the sheriff's office were corrupt. Like, we haven't forgotten that.
Very much so.
Yeah, and so that means that they're capable of doing it again. Yes.
Well, yeah, and you see now back to that whole internal affairs thing. Internal affairs has never, from what I've understood and been told, ever had a jurisdictional oversight for internal affairs here.
Yeah, that's definitely a problem.
So it's not like this is something new that dropped off. This jurisdiction, Monroe County, hasn't had internal affairs over this jurisdiction ever. And again, the only way that can happen is that somebody, all right, or some buddies that are connected to the district members, all right, have made a very clear, we don't want internal affairs here. Now, here's the question that I ask all of you out here in TV land. Who, you can take your guesses and maybe who, but the why is one of the most important ones. Why would our elected district officials ignore this issue for this many decades unless there wasn't something otherwise going on in this town for an extremely long time?
Well, it seems like trying to hide things is something that they all kind of have. Wouldn't you agree? That's like the next best thing there. Because right there. Yeah. I keep picking at you on that one because you go hard for the city.
Well, I do want to see the man come out and say something.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, if this is something happened, and I would like to see him come to the public and make an address on it. And it's still fairly new, and I just want to give the man a chance to be able to do it.
It's not new. This happened last year. Yeah, this didn't happen in 2026, right? This incident happened in 2025.
I could have swore that this happened here recently. Where's the report again?
It was revealed here recently, but I think it happened last year.
Go look at the report. Hey, you got the report with you. Go look at the date on it. Do you have it there where you can look at it?
Right now.
I mean, I would think that you know that I'm friends with the majority of the black community and I don't have many white friends. I mean, I think everybody here knows that too.
So when you say that, what does that mean? What does that prove? Well, just for the people that's wondering.
I'm just saying I was looking at Mr. Rochelle Camps.
Oh, Rochelle?
Yeah.
What did he say? He says, what do you care about Johnny D. McMillan?
Because he's a human being and what got done to him is really foul. And then the same people that did what they did to Johnny D did the same thing to me and my family. So
here's the thing. I'm going to challenge you. I got a question here. Did Monroe ever apologize to Mr. McMillan and his family? Do you remember whether they did or not? I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Did Boatwright apologize to Mr. Nettles and his family?
I don't know. I don't.
Should he? Should he?
I would think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'd
That's
say
all
yeah.
that's all we're saying, because it has to.
I don't know
Somebody
if he
has to
did.
break the cycle. Someone has to break that cycle and
Right,
show.
and I agree with that. And I'm just
Yeah,
telling you, I honestly don't know. If I did, I'd tell you. For real, I don't.
Monroe needs to be exposed. Well, you know what, Tamika, we are trying our best to do that. Monroe County Uncovered.
You know,
And that's why I can't be on the one side, because I need to be able to tell it like it TI is, no matter who it is.
well,
That's
I've
why I don't
been
want to
told.
bring politics into it. Because
No,
I don't
I've been
care about
told.
your politics. in
I've
Monroe.
been told that this county has been, this area has been used as a drug smuggling route for decades. You know,
But wait a minute, I see all these pictures of Boatwright is arresting people for drugs.
well, I know I'm talking about like cartel level shit. I mean,
Oh, cartel type stuff. You mean like the big people?
yes.
Oh, okay. So we can't get the big people, we just get the little people.
Well,
right?
what I'm trying to tell you is that, again, Eternal Affairs, I don't know all of who knows what in that, but there's many people in this community knows that this has been happening for a very long period of time. I mean,
what, drugs in Monroe?
I mean, yeah. I mean, shoot, Tom Tate himself and freaking Owens and all them has been rumored that they were packing shotgun shells over at the hardware store right across the street from the courthouse and selling cocaine. Over in freaking the woman that died that was murdered.
You think it stopped when Tom Tate left?
As far as the smuggling goes, no. I mean, as far as, I mean, really not.
Because I want to talk about the sheriff.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, is that there's things that I believe that are happening way, way highly above that type of food chain that are, because again, this is why I bring this up. Why are our elected district members not having internal affairs and oversight and the actual feds here, all right, to watch this shit here? There's a reason why our head top elected officials that probably go all the way, and from what I've learned recently, possibly, maybe, go all the way up to the food chain in Montgomery itself on our capital. So that's why I posed the question, why out of all these years and decades do we not have internal affairs? The internal affairs.
Don't you have FBI in Monroe?
They're hardly ever there. All right. And the whole reason why, and I'm going to tell you, because I spoke to the man that opened up the building, all right, the actual special agent, the reason why the Fed office opened up there, they came here to investigate $3.4 million that was stolen from the Department of Justice in building that jail with Tom Tate. And the whole
sounds like they still got some stuff to do there. They're not done. They still need to be there. Yes.
I mean, they still have an office here. I mean, I see them come and go at times. You know, I mean, there is still a drug task force that operates out of the head from, I believe it's Dallas County is operating it. You know, they're their own separate side jurisdiction. Monroeville doesn't run the Tri-County. All right, I think it's the 30th Circuit. Don't quote me on the actual number, but
what kind of reform do you think we need in Monroe that would be helpful for all the citizens? I don't really care about city, county. I don't really want to split it down the middle. They're all taxpayers. What do you think would be good that you would like to see in Monroe to make it better?
I personally would like to see Internal Affairs come down here, and I would honestly like to see the Department of Justice come down here with them and start auditing a whole lot of the things that have been happening over here over the last few decades. All right, let alone just one or two. And I believe that there are a lot of conflicted parties, all right, across the board in many different places that, you know, I mean, I've already said several of them already, that need to be investigated. And until we have an actual clear oversight board, again, Internal Affairs, you know, to be as a active jurisdiction that people can make their complaints in and proper investigations get carried out, man, nothing's going to change ever. I don't care who you elect, all right? And I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with this. I don't care who you elect, all right, until we have a actual Internal Affairs watch body over this area. Nothing across the board anywhere is going to change. The only change that I've seen for the better, all right, is when Tom Tate got out and Boatwright got in. As a person and a sheriff, I've seen a whole lot of positive things over the last 10 years happen than what we saw with Tom Tate. And I've been here 20 years. I got
Well,
10 years.
I'm not standing behind
So
that statement because I don't know
well,
that to be true. So that's
well,
not the opinion of this show.
that's not just this is my point that I'm making, is that until we have an actual real eternal affairs here, all right, not one person or one entity is going to be able to freaking change everything in this town. All right, we need real leader. We need real leadership, especially in our city. All right, we need to have an internal affairs here that watches everything, all of them. All right, and that's how you're going to get that. Until we have an internal affairs here, okay, one sheriff, one officer, one mayor, one chief, it don't matter. Not one of them individual people are going to be able across the board fix the massive issue all everywhere.
Well, one thing we can start doing though, Stephen, I mean, if we got to depend on people from the outside to make sure these people that we elect do their job, then we're in trouble. Why should we need internal affairs for people to stop trying to hide videos of young men that are getting beaten up in their jail? That internal affairs can't fix that. You got to fix that. It's something inside of you, meaning the people that hid that, there's something inside of you that made you do that. Why do I need internal affairs to watch you? You voted for me, and you told me you would not do that. You would be different than Tom Tate. So why are you doing the same stuff? That's the kind of stuff you talk about Tom Tate would have done. So why is he doing it? What I'm saying is, I think internal affairs is good. That's a great thing to use, but you shouldn't need internal affairs to run your city. That's why you have these mayors and chiefs and sheriffs and stuff. They're supposed to be have integrity. They swore
internal affairs, all right, as an actual watch body, really aids in that across the board, not just for the sheriff, not just for the chief, for them, everybody across the entire board, every single officer, all right, not just the chief or the sheriff
clean house, start over.
All right,
clean house, start over. Clean house and start over. I know that's not it. That's not possible.
No, it's not. It's really not.
Okay.
What was he saying?
So, let's talk to both.
That is a big, huge, massive negative, bro. I mean, it really is. I'm a man of my own opinion, okay? Like, for real. And I could have swore that you gave me DAP at Walmart and said thanks for everything that I'm doing on the show. So,
listen, I welcome this type of conversation. It makes for a good show, and it shows that we are independent thinkers. And I love to bring people on my show that don't necessarily agree with me. I'm not intimidated by that. And I know Steven's not intimidated by that as well, because I'm not going to change how I believe. I'm not going to change what I feel. And I'm definitely not going to change what I say, because I'm not going to bring politics to the Ella Johnson show. I am not here to get people to vote for vote right. I am not here to get people to vote for House or anybody else that's running for election in Monroe. You make your own decisions.
She's telling the truth, for real.
Yeah, I know, because I don't care about that. And I just want to say that you got to remember that people are watching. And like I told you, Stephen, and I said it to you behind closed doors, and I'll say it here, that I believe that Vote Right is losing his support, not because of my show, but because he ain't doing what he promised. It has nothing to do with me. So if he wants to win the confidence of the people in Monroe, do what you say. And you got a chance to do it with Jerry Nettles. This is your test. See, most people, politicians, don't get this opportunity. They can just rumble off and say stuff, and then people will vote for them. But in this case, he has an opportunity.
I can't fault you in that. I can't fault you in that. So,
but you're still voting for him. That's the part. That's part of the problem. Somebody has to make him own it.
There's a lot more reasons, and we can talk about that later or whenever the time's right if you want to. But there's a lot of reasons, and it's not necessarily just Vote Right. I have a lot of disagreements as for Brian House for a whole lot of reasons. I'm not going to disclose them at that time.
Okay, that's why we need to have a debate. Why don't you get vote right to agree to a debate? And I'll have to find somebody that knows House. I'll try to call it myself. If you're
I mean,
watching a
I'll go
vote
over
right
to the
or House,
I'll go to the damn police station myself and approach it my damn self. I don't care
well,
if they
well, we
seriously.
got it. I say we do it. I'll even come to Monroe for it. I'll
Damn.
come to Monroe and I will
Hey,
sit right there and ask questions.
can we
Because
use the
here's
old
the
court? Can
thing.
we use the old courthouse as the front stage for it?
You mean the one where they used to lynch black folks in?
Well, no, I'm just saying that just because of the history and sonority of it. I mean, they
I don't
have.
care about that. I don't want to go where they've been lynching black folks. I don't want to go
Well,
there.
yeah, no, I mean,
We can do it in the, we can do it in the courtyard. We
I
can do it in
wasn't
the
thinking about
courtyard.
it like that, but I see your point.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously, I
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
thinking about it
another
like
thing.
that. You got a
See, this
good
is the kind
point.
of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that gets me. Like there were 17 people lynched in Monroe, but we have this
Look,
whole setup.
there's a lot of questionable deaths over the last just few years in the Tri-County area that are, I mean, in Connecticut County, in Dallas County, Clark County, in Monroe County. All right, and I mean, all
What do you mean
across the board.
questionable deaths? What do you mean?
Unsolved mysteries, Ella.
Oh, well, yes, there are a lot of unsolved murders in Monroe. Yeah, why is that?
I would
Well,
love to know that too.
are they just in the city or are they in the county too?
There's unsolved murders in the Tri-County area. Period. It's not
That's
just here.
yeah. I've been getting a lot of
I mean,
you
I was
know,
looking at one just for Evergreen in Connecticut County itself,
yeah.
and I mean the way Booker ran that enterprise over there. I mean, I could go on for hours about that one, but whatever. That's not the time or fashion or format to carry it out in.
I
But
want to look at. I want to talk about this because I think it's important for people to start really thinking about what you want from your elected officials. Okay. Since we're talking about it tonight, I didn't want to go there, but there's some things that we need to just start requiring of them. Like I had Thomas Jackson on my show. Do you remember when I had he's the state of Alabama
yeah.
representative?
I remember when I was like, I don't know if he's going to do anything. I applaud him that he did carry out and he did. I mean, he at least said something. I'll give him that.
Okay. Well, see, that's the thing. We got to stop giving
Yeah.
politicians a pass. They don't get vote to just at least say something.
I mean,
They're voted in to do
right,
something.
I get that. I'm just saying.
Oh,
He said he was gonna say something, and I mean, he said something.
Well, I want to talk to him now. I want to
You
talk to
know,
him.
I really think we need him back, though.
Anybody that's trying to run for because see, this is the thing. When you came out, all of you, I'm talking right now. I'm talking about every single person that went and visited Miss Sharon's house, posted prayers on Facebook about T. Tunstall and what happened with that, and now they're all gone. They're all ghosts. Nobody's watching, so nobody's talking. This is for all of you. You want to be elected. I know that, Mr. Jackson. I have inboxed him. Say, hey, look, I really would love to get you back on the show because we didn't really have a good one that first time because you had internet connections. But I think the people want to hear from you because I think you're running up for election again, and we need to hear from you because you said it to the media, and I'm talking directly to you, Mr. Jackson, Thomas Jackson. I'm talking to you directly.
I have a lot of questions for him, my dang self, to be honest.
You said that there's a lot of mistreatment of our people in Monroe. You said it to the news. You said it on the Ella Johnson show that you reached out to the mayor and he won't call you back. You reached out to the AG and he hasn't done anything either. Well, guess what? We can do that. We elect people so they can do more.
This is at 100% true fact. I mean, I have to agree with that. I mean, that's what America's all about.
So this is what we want. Calling publicly for transparency, regular updates from the investigating agencies. Mayor, city council, anyone that's listening, you can do that. Number two,
very much so.
Requesting that the Alabama Attorney General review the case if there are concerns about the investigation's independence. Mr. Jackson, why you can't do that? I don't know what Shamari's doing right now, what his position is.
I'm not naming names, but you know, I've spoke to some people that are like in that whole bracket and they know who they are. we have discussed this, that this is a actual big deal, that we need to have somebody, a completely just an unbiased office. I mean, just period, that someone can come into, whether it's over at the city council's building, over at the courthouse, in one of them offices by the dang in the FBI complex, whatever. There's buildings here that could be rented very cheap. I really would love. I swear to God, I'd love to see it. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get it, but I mean, if somebody could be as elected as an official in an official capacity, whether it's from Montgomery through Mr. Jackson's, affairs or whatnot, I don't know how you would do it. I have some ideas, but if we had a place that was open that anybody could go to, all right, and make their complaints, all right, and then they actually be taken serious. Like for instance, you take like a Billy G type, someone that can take complaints from their district or from the entire districts and present them to the agencies they need to, and go directly to the attorney generals. If we had somebody, all right, that could sit behind a desk and you could feel comfortable and come in and speak to and say, hey, this happened, or there's a concern here. What's going on with this? Why is this not happening? What's going on with Alabama Power? Why do I have to go and talk to?
Is that what your city council's for?
Right. Well, then, unfortunately, they're not doing nothing. I mean, that's the whole point. That's the point. If they're not going to freaking do it, can we at least just have someone that'll damn do it? That's where my whole point of where we need internal affairs to at least have some type of an integrity. But these people that are elected officials.
Do you know why they're still closing the courthouse on Thursdays at 12 o'clock?
From what I was told, it was a religious thing that people went off to hold church back in the day. And I will say this, that they have this last couple of years, like the DMV there is now open. The clerk's office is now open on Thursday.
I understand that. Do you know why?
I was told it was a religious thing for.
That's not true.
No, all right. What is it? Because that's what I've been told.
Well, back in the day when they were lynching people, they would shut down everything, and they would go to the courthouse and they would lynch them. All the police officers, everybody would go home. So that's why black people knew they had to run home, because there are no cops out. They're all out there watching the black man get lynched.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you and a lot of people didn't know that.
Oh wow. I've been told by so many people it was a religious church thing. People went to go do church on Thursdays at 12.
Of course. No, that's not the truth.
Oh, wow.
Those are the kind of things in Monroe.
No shit.
That should not be happening anymore.
Whoa, no. What? Ooh, I swear to God, I didn't know that.
Is there just the same one newspaper and one radio station in Monroe?
Yeah, I got a lot of issues with that too. And listen, I've caught the newspaper doing media ride-alongs. They've done it to me. They type up their things with their biases the way that they like to in a lot of different pieces that I've seen. I mean, the police departments over the years, have really leaned on the newspaper for certain things. And I don't like that we only have one really official licensed news body here, because I've seen a lot of conflictions out of that paper, just period.
Yeah, I've sent several articles to them. They want you to pay for everything. They won't put any of my press releases. So I think that there should be another type of media outlet in Monroe that's going to bring out stories like this. For now, we got to do it here. But I think in Monroe there should be.
Unfortunately,
there needs to be another radio station, something that's bringing the real issues, and that's why people are so blind in Monroe. And I'm talking about people that don't know our history, because nobody wants to talk about those 17 men. Because you know that whenever they give you the 17, they have it on like a memorial. But you know where it is? It's in Montgomery. Find out, why did Monroe go get theirs?
That's another. I know that there was blatant racism going on in this town for a long time. All right. I know things that I'm not even going to discuss on this freaking show. All right. That make me sick to my stomach. All right. I really do.
That's one of them. That's something that they don't want to be. They don't want us to be memorialized.
I mean, there's
the
apparent. I'll say this much, all right, for the people that want to go ahead and sling mud at me. I mean, I think that there's a well somewhere out in the backside of Uraw that's rumored that a lot of people have disappeared in. All right, there's a lot of people over in Connecticut County that supposedly got fed into wood chippers under the Booker administrations. All right, that I don't agree with. And I've went to head and head again, like with Tom Tate. I've heard a lot of ugliness and racist shit, racist things that happened in that whole administration too, and that I got wrapped up in the middle of going after and trying to fight for my own life. All right, so I'm just saying that just forget. If you want to go ahead and keep looking at me like the white guy up here, fine, so be it. All right, I care for everybody. I care for white, black, Mexican. Doesn't matter who you are. We're all Americans. We all live here, and if we don't have these discussions, we don't bring these type of things out to light and have an actual open, transparent discussion about it, they're going to keep freaking happening. All right. And I can't say enough at all that we, all of us, white and black, we need to get together. We need to stop hating each other across the board. All right. I'm just saying, not everybody is racist. There are a lot of racists out there. I'll completely admit it. I've listened to a lot of people in this town throw the damn N-word out like it's okay. I had to kick somebody out of my house, all right, for disrespecting Mr. Tunstall in his death, saying some really nasty things, and I kicked his ass out of my freaking house, and we are no longer friends. And just for the sheer respect that I have and not be able to throw his name everyone out there, I'm just telling you, I know that there's racism here, but if we don't come together and start loving each other again, all right, but also know racism is a thing. It's probably never going to go away. But if we all don't start become mature enough, all right, and God's children, and start loving each other, all right, and figuring out how we both fix that issue and start looking at us as just red-blooded people, all right, we're going to continue the higher ups and the propaganda that gets fed across this entire country, all right, like a water hose. If you and I, all right, not just you, Ellerby, I'm saying everyone out there, if we don't start just loving each other again and caring about each other as individuals, all right, the whole race thing is going to continue to just sit there, smolder, and grow. If we don't just start loving each other again, man, we're going to keep dealing with the same.
We'll never be able to conquer it if we can't confront.
No, exactly.
No. This is the part, because I think that people get touched when we start talking about it. If it's still happening, I'm going to talk about it. I have to. We got to be able to confront it if we're going to conquer it.
And I agree with that, 100%.
People that are dragging folks and doing this stuff, they're the one, and those are the same ones that'll be in church first thing Sunday morning. Be in church first thing Sunday morning, giving praise, and you got hate in your heart. So we do have to work, because I agree with you.
That's unfortunately why me and my wife actually don't go to church here. I mean,
we do have to work together. I agree with that, because like what happened with T. Tunstall, there are a lot of Caucasians that are just as angry about what happened to him as they're African Americans. I agree,
and I'm one of them.
But I would love to see him at the protest next time.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, the next time that there's a protest, like I told you before, I mean, once this I'll help lead the damn charge. I shit you not, I'll help organize it. I have no problem with it. I just didn't make the last one because I was literally working on someone's boat. I mean, it was spur of the moment type deal. I would have been there. I just wasn't there. I was in Florida for several days.
So I think that the way we're going to start doing that is shows like this, where we actually talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for being able to come on here and have dialogue with me, even though you know how I feel about certain things, and know that I'm going to say what I say. Yeah. And then you have enough respect for me to just say, listen, I respect what you're saying. Because I'm going to say how I feel about it.
And you should. And this is America.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you for being a good sport with me as we dialogue, right? Because we weren't supposed to have this show tonight. This is not the show I was supposed to have.
This was not a regularly programmed broadcast.
Let me tell you, I reached out to Steven and it was the show goes live at 8:30. I reached out to you at 7:40.
Yeah, it was really short. I think I had 30 minutes.
Yeah. and you came here and you didn't have to do that, and I appreciate you for that. So I want you to be, respected
Well,
as you're here
I
on the
didn't. I
show.
don't want to see you be up here, shoot yourself in the foot, and have to be alone now.
Yeah, yeah. To do is don't no one in this town have anything to do with you, Steve? What is that?
I don't
Jack.
know. Jack Brown has made many comments towards me over the last couple of broadcasts that I've taken part in. I mean, I've been here 20 years, and I've worked in the community with people's cars and computers and their phones, and I've got to know a lot of people. So, and I mean, I've got to know a lot of different people in different places. Just I'm an outspoken guy. I'm from Chicago. I'm from the Windy City. I'm from progressive places. All right, I am a progressive. I've lived in California. I've lived in 9 different states. I've seen 35 states. I've traveled the entire country. I've met millions and millions of people. All right, I've encountered and rubbed shoulders and had dinner in people's homes all across this country. I mean, Mexicans, Indians. I've been on reservations across this entire freaking country. All right. I mean, when I tell you that I have literally zero bias to anybody, I'm just a dude that got born in America. I could have got born somewhere else, but God gave me this ability, all right, and this gift to been born in the land of the free. And if I don't use my God-given gifts, all right, and the integrity that He gave me, and don't speak and get to know my people, all right, and break bread with them, I mean, shoot, all the things that I have, my home, my cars, I gained them all from money that I worked in the community. Everything that I own is because of everyone in this community. All right. I mean,
Right.
I've worked for the community. I mean, I would literally be living in a box somewhere, probably, homeless, watching you, on my phone with a solar panel. All right.
And that's great. That's great, Stephen. And I think that and I'm not going to speak for the people that are commenting. I'm just going to say what I think, based on what I'm seeing, is that when stuff like what happened to Jerry Nettles happens, the worst thing you could do is make an excuse for the sheriff. That's the worst thing.
Well,
And
I want to see the sheriff actually be transparent and come out and say something. I do.
And that throws people off. But when you say things like give him a chance, no, I don't think he deserves to have a chance. He had a chance when it happened. You had a chance to do the right thing when it happened, but you instead made a decision, allegedly, to cover this up. Let me just allegedly pay this off so it doesn't get in the media nowhere. I don't want people to know about this. And then you promote the guy that did it.
I mean, from what I know, I mean, I don't really agree with how many days they suspended him, but I mean, at least he did suspend him. I mean, I'll give him that.
See, it's stuff like at least they did. Like the standard just went way down. It's not he should have suspended him. That shouldn't be he shouldn't get a gold star for that. That's what you're supposed to do. You should have suspended him, canceled him, and you should have suspended him for the right reason, because they assaulted. Say the word. He assaulted this young man.
Lassiter did assault. He did assault him 100%. I cannot say that he didn't. He totally did.
It was an assault, not an assist like they wrote in the paper.
No, it was not an assist.
What I'm talking about.
It's not. He did assault him. I mean, I am not going to double back on that. When Officer Lassiter did assault him, he did do that.
So if I were to go to internal affairs, this is what I would say. I would say, hey, internal affairs, we have a sheriff here, and the sheriff is, this guy wrote up the report and it was incorrect, and they used another report to get a warrant, which is a crime, right? You put a form, you wrote up something on a state form and submitted it as if it's true. You signed it. So if it's incorrect, is that not a crime? Yes or no?
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah.
So then the officers now have become the one who committed the crime and not Jerry.
Yeah,
whatever Jerry did to get arrested,
I 100% believe. I'm totally on board with that. Yeah,
they committed 2 crimes that day. They assaulted Jerry, and then they lied on a state form.
They
so
did.
if I was talking to internal affairs, that's kind of how my conversation would go.
That would be how my conversation goes too. I'm not gonna disagree with that whatsoever at all. 110%.
All right, what else you got before we get out of here? We're gonna listen. We had a great show for something that wasn't planned, guys. I know y'all were showing up tonight to hear Dr. Barbarietta Turner-Pugh, but listen, things happen, and she didn't have service. So right at the last minute, she wasn't able to get connected. So if she can't get connected, she's not going to be able to be on the show. That's the reason she's not here. But Stephen, who the professor, agreed to come on the show tonight at the last minute.
That's what people call me.
So that we can have a good conversation, and I think it went well, Stephen. I think so.
I
So I
really
want
do
to thank
too. I
you.
mean, they're hard questions, they're hard
Yeah.
issues. There's disagreements, there's agreements. There's that's what this is all about. And
That's
I will say
correct.
this much, and this is everybody out there, especially here in Monroeville City, and this is an issue for me because I live 3 blocks from the courthouse, so I'm definitely in the municipality. Um, Yes, 110%. I mean, and I believe that it is a felony, to be honest. All right, making a false police report is considered felony. What I was going to say is
So you
that
know what needs to happen next? I need to get my hands on it. If I get my hands on it, you already know what that means.
I do.
Now they're going to start making a demand on boat right. Why didn't you charge these officers? Now the issue gets bigger. Do you agree?
I do. I
Oh,
really
okay.
do. I mean, I hate it for the guy, but I mean, the things that need to be talked about.
Well, now I will say this: one of the guys is no longer there, and I think one of was either fired or let go or quit. So,
That
in
I
fairness to
can't.
Boatwright, he may have fired one of them, and one I know left and went to another place. He may have had something to do with that.
I
So,
wouldn't.
being
That I don't
transparent,
know. I could find out, but I would think so. Like, but I can't answer that for full and like fully to be honest about it.
I mean, because I know that two of them are not there, and he may or may not have anything to do with that. But I do know there is one who's still there, and he got promoted with a dog. So, as far as I'm concerned, you still didn't do the right thing. But anyway, we're gonna get
Well,
out of here, guys.
well, before you go, if I finished the thought that I was having?
Sure. What was it? I'm sorry.
And that I live in the municipality. I have a home that's just 3 blocks from here. All right, and
Okay.
I want everybody that lives in the city limits. All right, and I'm doing it through this broadcast. All right, and I'd be more than happy. You guys know how to message me if you guys want to set up meetings that we could go talk to council and actually set something up. If some people will reach out to me, and I don't just get stood out there with my thumb up my butt alone in this, I will be more than happy to speak on it publicly at a council meeting. We are operating right now with a heavily conflicted mayor with many medical complications, and we don't have any real leadership or authority that's going on in our city. All right. So freaking until we have someone that is going to get elected, all right, and be the attorney, because it's definitely not Al, all right, and we all know that. I'm just telling you, that's not going to happen, all right. We all need here in the city limits. We really need to be, approaching and barking at the council. Hey, we need a special election. We need a real mayor that's going to be elected. Mayor Andrews needs to be discharged of his duties due to his medical complications. He is no longer fit, all right, to run this jurisdiction. Period. And we could use the medical complications alone on itself. I mean, it's only going to be hopefully a matter of days, Ella, or or maybe another couple of weeks that we get the SBI report on Tunstall and get to really get into the mechanics and the nitty gritty and that whole ordeal. But I can't stress enough how important it is that the Monroeville Police Department takes its orders from the mayor. Okay, we don't have a mayor. There is no one watching the Monroeville Police Department at this moment because there's nobody in charge. All right, nor anything else. Damn the police department. All right, and for anything else in that matter, we don't have anyone that's having any real directed or leadership authority that's going on in that council meeting, and we need to fix that. And because we're going into election where there's voting booths open, all right, we can have a special general election for mayor to fill his spot now while we have the opportunity to do it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you guys go through the proper channels for that. I mean, whatever that is. Because I mean, for me, I'm just waiting on this SBI report and this autopsy so that we can bring it to you live here on the Ella Johnson Show. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. If the mayor cannot do the job, he needs to step down. Yeah, we've been saying that. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys for staying with us this long. You guys are the best. Thank you for sharing the broadcast, liking the broadcast. Please subscribe to my channel over at the Ella Johnson Show on YouTube. I don't think I won't be back here Sunday, but I'll be back Monday. I am getting ready to travel in the morning because
Safe travels.
I know, right? I'm excited. Y'all pray for a sister. Me and my family, we're going to be driving I'm going out of town, and I won't be back here Sunday, so I
Just be
will
safe.
not be live.
Be safe.
Yeah, I will not be live here on Sunday night, but I will come back. I think I'm going to come back live Monday. Who knows? Maybe we'll get the report over the weekend or something. Who knows?
I doubt that's going to happen, but that would be
Y'all
certainly
just
a
stay
blessing.
tuned. Y'all stay tuned for when I go live next. But I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephen, for being here. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. All right. We'll see you next time on the Ella Johnson Show. Thanks.
God bless.
That's right. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Ella Johnson Show. We'll see you next time.
We are supporters of the Ella Johnson Show. We live in South Korea. We have been watching Ella Johnson Show for like a year now. And we love her show. Her show is very inspirational, motivational, and educational.
If you would like to be a guest on the Ella Johnson Show, send an email to theellajohnsonshow@gmail.com or send a text message to 407-334-6997.
We love Ella Johnson Show.